This three-part series is dedicated to providing information regarding little-known areas and facts about the interior of the Iowa State Capitol. Unlike the standard Capitol tours, this production goes beyond the ropes to welcome everyone to journey further into the People's Building. The public hallways, the center rotunda, the central dome of the Capitol, and the public rooms of the House of Representatives and the Senate are ornately decorated. In the private areas, you will find the same attention to detail. One of the little-known facts about the Capitol is our system of clocks. We have a pneumatic system of clocks within the Capitol building. The master clock sits in the governor's suite of offices, and this master clock connects to 17 black-face clocks throughout the building. They're connected through copper tubes that run through the walls of the Capitol, and a small puff of air will travel through those copper tubes to move the hands 1 minute on each one of those 17 clocks. The system was installed in about 1913. This is one of the black-face clocks in the old Railroad Commissioner's office, and you can see the ornately decorated area beneath. It actually looks like carved wood, but that's painted. Here in the governor's office, you'll find the seal of Iowa painted on the ceiling. Here in the treasurer's office, you'll find a design that actually looks like a tapestry painted on the walls. In the auditor's office, you'll find elaborately decorated spaces, a lot of gold leaf used in this area. And here in the auditor's business office, the design on the ceiling is actually painted to look like wood. Each one of the executive offices is decorated with a different design. There was an attempt to make each office special. Here in the cashier's office of the state treasurer, you'll find the federal shield and also the seal of Iowa painted on the ceiling. In the Secretary of State's office, you'll find a vaulted ceiling, one of only 3 vaulted ceilings within the Capitol. And in the old Railroad Commissioner's office, you'll find a design that is quite unique compared to other areas of the building. This decoration would have been done after the turn of the century, and it was painted by T.I. Stoner. We have elaborately carved wood within the Capitol building. Many of the furnishings were actually done here on site, but some things were ordered from companies out east. One of the things that we have remaining in the Capitol building is one Murphy bed. The Murphy beds were used by our Supreme Court justices. There were 5 Supreme Court justices originally, and each one of the 5 had an office here in the Capitol, and each one of those 5 justices had a Murphy bed so that they could stay the night in the Capitol building. They didn't have to worry about riding back home by horseback, and they didn't have to worry about finding accommodations in the downtown area. Of the 5 original Murphy beds, we have only 1 left in the Capitol, still kept in the judicial area of the Capitol building at the far north end. Beautiful designs, even in the hidden areas of the Capitol. In the public hallways, you're going to find designs that date to the turn of the century. We didn't have the money to paint these areas when the building was built in the 1880s. We had to wait until the early 1900s to paint these walls. Again, you'll find a lot of gold leaf used in the design, and all the designs will be different in all the hallways and every single room in the Capitol. We have 109 rooms in our Capitol. Each one contains a different design.
The painter Jerry Miller discovered the decorative paint on the walls that had been covered up through the years in around 1970, and that's when the state decided to put back the decorative paint that was originally in the Capitol. And I've been here 22 years. In that time, we've put a majority of the Capitol back to what it was originally. We go through the layers of paint, find the original design, document that, and then take tracings, and from there make stencils, match the colors to as close as we can get them to, and then slowly put it back the way it was. The designs are somewhere in the late 1800s. The library itself was one of the first rooms done, I believe, in 1886, 87.
Not only are we doing restoration work inside the Capitol building, but we also are required to do updating. Elevators must be updated. Our cafeteria has been updated and moved into a room of the Capitol. The tour guide station has moved from the first floor to the ground floor with a whole new area designed just for the tour guides.
This is where the replica of the glass floor will go. It's a replica of the original floor that was put in when the building was built. The glass floor was taken out in 1915 and this brass handrail was installed, and that's where we are today. And a replica of the glass floor will come in, and it'll come in through the west door over here, and piece by piece it'll be carefully placed with an A-frame structure over the hole. It'll be placed from this floor and kind of slid down into place from first floor. The glass floor is made up of 11 pieces. The first piece is a large member that will stretch from one of these ground floor columns to the one diagonally across from it. That'll be the very first piece put in. There'll be 2 more structural pieces put in to make an X, and then the remaining 8 pieces of the floor will come in, 4 big ones around the outside and 4 little ones in the middle, and that's it. And the glass floor will show up to the building with the glass pavers in it. This is just a sample of the glass pavers. The pavers themselves will actually have 6 sides to them, but it's about this thickness, probably about a little over an inch thick, and it is sandblasted on one side so that it's translucent. So say from up here looking down, you'll be able to tell there's lights on down on ground floor, but you won't be able to make out too much more than that. You'll probably be able to see people moving around down there and whatnot, but not a lot more than that.
Each one of our executive officers had a ceremonial office on the first floor of the Capitol, and also a business office below that on the basement level of the Capitol. And between those 2 levels were interior iron staircases that would allow employees to move from floor to floor and never enter the public areas of the building. Many of these staircases have been removed through the years. We still have 3 in place in the Capitol building. Even the interior of a staircase that was never meant to be seen by anyone but employees is highly decorated. And one of the interesting things that we'll find within this staircase is a large pipe protruding from the wall. Many people would think this would have to do with fire safety, but it does not. It's part of a central vacuum system that was installed in the Capitol. The interior of the vaults were iron. They were iron because they needed to be fireproof. The vaults were never designed to hold money, but designed to hold papers and records. And of course, it was important to keep that safe from fire. The interior of the vaults varied depending on the office. Each interior was designed to fit that office's specific needs. In the Secretary of State's office, we had to file many land records, so the space was designed specifically for that purpose. There would have been many deeds to lands that would have been filed, and of course, eventually a lot of those deeds would have been bound into books. The vaults have interior staircases. The staircases raise and lower. That allows extra space inside the vault. The rollers inside the vault allowed the books to roll out easily. and a special place to lay those books and read. Most visitors to the Capitol building will never see the beautifully painted vault doors. The vault doors are beautifully decorated. Each vault door has a design. Each design is different. What we would refer to as the artwork on the vault doors varies greatly from room to room. Again, within each one of the executive offices, you would have found a vault, and many of them also had vaults in the lower area in the business offices. Many of the vault doors are still in place in the Capitol. Again, each one is different, each one with an elaborate design. Not only did they add decoration to the interior of the rooms of the Capitol, but they were a ready advertisement for the Diebold Safe and Lock Company of Canton, Ohio. The vault doors are quite heavy, weighing several hundred pounds apiece, and they are attached to the Capitol walls by large hinges. Throughout the years, Capitol vault doors have been removed. However, the hinges cannot be removed. They're part of the structure of the building. Inside the vaults, there would have been separate interior doors, and you can see that even the inside of the vault has decoration. Here in the auditor's office is the only vault door that is really available to the public when they come to tour the Capitol. Inside the auditor's vault, again, you can find a place for storing papers and records. You can see one of those interior staircases. Today, some of the vault doors have been painted over, and most of the vaults are used simply to store office supplies. One of the newer vaults in the building is in the treasurer's office. And again, this vault is designed to hold items and not necessarily money. A grotesque is a mask-like piece of decorative art often created to resemble fanciful human or animal facial features. There are many examples of this type of art carved in wood within the Capitol. In the Capitol building, you'll find the grotesque carvings in many areas. In the governor's suite of offices, in the House of Representatives above the main door. But the majority of the grotesque carvings you'll find in the old railroad commissioner's office. Each door, each window contains 2 grotesque carvings, one on either side. The railroad commissioner's office is a very unusual place in the building. The designs that you'll find in this room are much different than designs you'll find throughout the rest of the Capitol. The grotesque carvings just add to that design. The grotesque carvings in the railroad commissioner's office are very far away from you. It's very unusual that you would find these carvings more than 20 feet away. It's such a detailed part of the Capitol building, and yet really not in view when you walk into those areas. One has to look up and really be searching to see these carvings. Another little known fact about the Capitol is that they decorated the rooms according to what they were going to use them for. In our old Department of Agriculture, you will find animal heads that are carved, again above the doors and windows. One of the carvings incorporates 2 of Iowa's best-known products, pork and corn. In our old Department of Horticulture, you will find fruits and vegetables carved in the woodwork, again above the doors and windows. Iowa State Capitol visitors from near and far can bear witness to this grand building's beautiful and magnificent interior. However, the people can also take pride in knowing that this building's wonderful grandeur continues inside private offices, along corridors, and within meeting rooms, further exemplifying that Iowa State Capitol itself is truly a work of art.